In the vast expanse of the Milky Way galaxy, a council of alien species had convened to maintain peace and cooperation among the numerous civilizations that roamed the stars. This esteemed body, known as the Galactic Council, was composed of representatives from the most technologically advanced and influential races in the galaxy. At the center of the council's chambers, a towering holographic display showcased the known regions of the galaxy, with each member species' territory marked by distinct colors and symbols. The council members, seated around a massive circular table, discussed the pressing issues of the day, their voices echoing through the cavernous hall. One of the most prominent members of the council was Xyloth, a Genevan diplomat renowned for his sharp intellect and unwavering confidence. As the representative of the Genevan Empire, one of the oldest and most powerful civilizations in the galaxy, Xyloth often took the lead in council discussions. Fellow council members, Xyloth began, his deep, resonant voice commanding the attention of the room. I believe it is time we address the issue of the human species and their so-called advancements in the field of weaponry. The other council members nodded in agreement, their expressions ranging from curiosity to mild disdain. The humans, a relatively young and technologically primitive species, had recently emerged onto the galactic stage, and their rapid progress had raised eyebrows among the more established civilizations. These humans, Xyloth continued, his tone dripping with condescension, claim to have developed weapons capable of challenging our own superior technology. As we all know, our species have long since mastered the art of warfare, harnessing the power of exotic particles, directed energy, and even the manipulation of gravitational fields. Yet these humans dare to suggest that their primitive chemical explosives and crude kinetic projectiles pose a threat to our might. A murmur of agreement rippled through the council chamber as the other representatives echoed Xyloth's dismissive attitude towards the human species. We must not take these claims lightly, a Xylonian counselor interjected, her delicate features betraying a hint of concern. While the humans may be technologically inferior, they have proven to be a resourceful and adaptive species. Perhaps we should investigate their claims more thoroughly before dismissing them outright. Xyloth waved a three-fingered hand dismissively, his expression hardening. Nonsense, my dear Xylonian. The humans are but a speck in the grand tapestry of the galaxy. Their primitive weapons pose no threat to our advanced civilizations. If anything, they should be grateful that we even deign to acknowledge their existence. The other council members murmured in agreement, their faces lit by the ethereal glow of the holographic display. The future of the human species, it seemed, hung in the balance as the arrogant and condescending members of the Galactic Council continued to underestimate the potential of this young and ambitious race. While the Galactic Council dismissed the human species as a minor player in the grand scheme of the galaxy, the humans on Earth were hard at work, driven by a relentless determination to prove their worth and secure their place among the stars. In the bustling research facilities and military laboratories scattered across the planet, teams of brilliant scientists and skilled engineers toiled endlessly, pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. Their goal was simple: to develop weapons that could rival, and even surpass, the advanced technologies wielded by the more established alien civilizations. Leading this charge was Dr. Emily Sinclair, a renowned physicist and the head of the Terran Weapons Research Division. With a keen mind and an unwavering passion for her work, she assembled a team of the brightest minds from around the world, each bringing their unique expertise to the table. Gentlemen, ladies, Dr. Sinclair addressed her team, her tone both authoritative and inspiring. We stand at the precipice of a new era. For too long, the Galactic Council has looked down upon us, dismissing our potential as a mere footnote in the grand tapestry of the galaxy. But no more. Today, we will show them the true power of the human spirit. Her words were met with a chorus of determined nods and murmurs of agreement. The researchers knew that the stakes were high, but the prospect of proving the Council wrong and securing humanity's rightful place among the stars was a powerful motivator. Over the following months, the team worked tirelessly, exploring new frontiers in weapons technology. They delved into the realm of nuclear fission, harnessing the immense power of the atom to create devastating explosives. They experimented with directed energy weapons, developing high-powered lasers and particle beams that could cut through even the most advanced shielding. And perhaps most impressively, they revolutionized the field of kinetic weapons, designing new types of projectiles that could deliver devastating impacts with pinpoint accuracy. These railguns and coilguns, as they were called, utilized powerful electromagnetic fields to launch projectiles at incredible speeds, far surpassing the capabilities of traditional chemical-based firearms. As the months turned into years, the human weapons research team made breakthrough after breakthrough, each new development pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. The Galactic Council, unaware of the quiet revolution taking place on Earth, continued to dismiss the humans as a primitive, insignificant species, but little did they know that the humans were about to shatter that illusion, and in the process, change the balance of power in the galaxy forever. As the years passed, the Galactic Council remained blissfully unaware of the rapid advancements taking place on the human homeworld of Earth. Consumed by their own affairs and the delicate balance of power within the galactic community, the council members continued to dismiss the humans as little more than a curious anomaly, a primitive species struggling to find its footing among the stars. Zaloth, the arrogant Genevan representative, was particularly vocal in his disdain for the humans. During council meetings, he would often scoff at the mere mention of the human species, his contempt for their supposed achievements palpable in the air. These humans, Zaloth would sneer, his reptilian features twisting into a condescending sneer. They may have managed to venture beyond their own pathetic little planet, but they are hardly a threat to our mighty civilizations. Their so-called weapons are nothing more than crude tools, not worthy of our attention. The other council members, while not as openly dismissive as Zaloth, shared a similar sentiment. They saw the humans as a minor curiosity, a species that would eventually either succumb to the rigors of galactic expansion or, at best, become a harmless client race, serving the interests of the more advanced alien civilizations. This attitude of superiority and disregard for the humans' potential only served to embolden the Council's members, leading them to make decisions that would ultimately prove to be their undoing. One such decision came when the Galactic Council received a formal request from the human government, seeking to establish diplomatic and trade relations with the broader galactic community. The Council, led by Zaloth's influential voice, swiftly rejected the proposal, citing the humans' technological inferiority and their inability to contribute meaningfully to the affairs of the galaxy. "The humans are not ready to join our ranks," Zaloth declared, his tone brooking no argument. "They lack the sophistication and the resources to participate in the delicate balance of power that we have maintained for millennia. It would be a waste of our time to entertain their pitiful requests." The other council members nodded in agreement, their expressions a mixture of indifference and amusement. The humans, it seemed, were forever destined to remain on the fringes of the galactic community, their dreams of galactic integration and recognition crushed by the arrogance and dismissiveness of the Galactic Council. Little did the council members know, however, that their contemptuous disregard for the human species would soon be shattered, as a shocking revelation would force them to confront the true power of the once overlooked civilization. Tensions between the human civilization and the Galactic Council had been simmering for years, ever since the Council's dismissive rejection of the human government's request for diplomatic and trade relations. The council members, led by the arrogant Zaloth, had continued to view the humans as a primitive, insignificant species, unworthy of their attention or respect. However, this uneasy status quo was about to be shattered in a dramatic and unexpected manner. It began with a routine survey mission conducted by a Galactic Council exploration fleet, tasked with mapping the outer reaches of the galaxy. As the fleet approached a previously uncharted system, they detected the presence of a human colony, a modest settlement that had managed to eke out an existence on a distant, resource-rich planet. Zaloth, who had been leading the mission, immediately ordered his subordinates to make contact with the human colony, his eyes gleaming with a mixture of curiosity and disdain. "Let us see what these humans have managed to accomplish," Xyloth said, his tone dripping with condescension. "Perhaps we can learn something about their primitive ways, or at the very least, offer them the opportunity to serve the Galactic Council as a client race." The exploration fleet descended upon the human colony, their advanced vessels casting long shadows over the modest settlement. The human colonists, caught off guard by the sudden appearance of the alien ships, hastily gathered their meager defenses, uncertain of the Council's true intentions. As the Galactic Council representatives made their way to the surface, they were met with a tense standoff. The human colonists, wary of the Council's reputation for subjugating lesser civilizations, refused to surrender or submit to their demands. Xyloth, growing increasingly impatient, ordered his troops to disperse the human resistance. "They are nothing but savages," he spat, "and they will learn to respect the might of the Galactic Council." What happened next caught the Council members completely off guard. In a sudden and explosive display of firepower, the human colonists unleashed a barrage of advanced weaponry, including powerful energy beams, devastating explosives, and rapid-fire kinetic projectiles. The Galactic Council forces, equipped with their own advanced technology, were stunned by the sheer destructive power of the human armaments, their shields and defensive systems overwhelmed by the onslaught. Xyloth watched in disbelief as his subordinates were cut down, their sleek vessels destroyed by the human firepower. His expression shifted from one of condescending confidence to sheer terror, as the realization dawned on him that the humans were far more capable than the Council had ever imagined. In the chaos and confusion, the human colonists managed to drive back the Galactic Council forces, forcing them to retreat and regroup. Xyloth, his pride shattered, returned to the Council chambers, his mind racing with questions and doubts about the true nature of the human species. The confrontation on the human colony had shattered the Galactic Council's assumptions about the humans, and the implications of this revelation would soon ripple through the entire galactic community, forever changing the balance of power in the stars. The news of the Galactic Council's humiliating defeat at the hands of the human colonists spread like wildfire through the corridors of the Council chambers. Xyloth, once the picture of arrogance and confidence, now found himself the subject of intense scrutiny and criticism from his fellow council members. How could this have happened? A Cylonian councillor demanded, her delicate features contorted in a rare display of anger. "You assured us that the humans posed no threat to our forces, yet they managed to repel our assault with ease." Xyloth, his scales visibly paling, struggled to find the words to defend his actions. I do not know," he stammered, a rare moment of uncertainty for the normally composed diplomat. "Their weapons, their tactics, they were unlike anything we have ever encountered." The other council members murmured in agreement, their expressions a mix of bewilderment and growing concern. The implications of this encounter were staggering. If the humans were indeed capable of confronting the Galactic Council's advanced technology with such devastating effect, then the balance of power in the galaxy could be in jeopardy. Determined to uncover the full extent of the human capabilities, the Council decided to stage a live demonstration, pitting their own formidable forces against the humans in a controlled setting. The stakes were high, as the Council members could not afford to be caught off guard again by the primitive species. The chosen battleground was a remote, uninhabited planet on the edge of the galaxy, a neutral ground where the Council could assess the human weapons without the risk of collateral damage. The Galactic Council assembled a sizable fleet, equipped with the latest in defensive and offensive technology, while the human representatives arrived with a modest but highly capable force. As the two sides faced off, an eerie silence fell over the battlefield. The Council members, seated in the safety of their command ship, watched with a mixture of anticipation and trepidation as the confrontation began. The first salvo came from the Galactic Council, as their advanced energy weapons unleashed a barrage of searing beams and pulses towards the human forces. The humans, however, were quick to react, deploying powerful shields that deflected the energy attacks with ease. In response, the human forces unleashed a devastating array of weaponry. Explosive projectiles that shattered the Council's shielding, high-powered lasers that pierced through their armor, and even devastating nuclear detonations that rocked the very foundations of the battlefield. The Galactic Council's forces, caught off guard by the sheer scale and ferocity of the human assault, struggled to mount an effective counterattack. Their sophisticated technology, once the envy of the galaxy, proved woefully inadequate against the humans' advanced armaments. As the battle raged on, the Council members watched in horror as their vaunted warships were reduced to smoldering wrecks, their crews annihilated by the human firepower. Xyloth, his once confident demeanor shattered, could only stare in disbelief at the unfolding carnage. When the smoke finally cleared, the Galactic Council's forces lay in ruins, while the human contingent emerged victorious, their weapons and tactics proven superior to the Council's most advanced technology. The implications of this confrontation were staggering, and the Council members knew that they could no longer afford to dismiss the humans as a mere curiosity. The balance of power in the galaxy had shifted, and a Galactic Council would have to rethink its entire approach to the once overlooked human civilization. The devastation inflicted upon the Galactic Council's forces during the live demonstration against the human military sent shockwaves through the Council chambers. The once confident members now found themselves grappling with a profound dilemma. How could they, the self-proclaimed guardians of the galaxy, have been so utterly humbled by a comparatively young and primitive civilization? Xyloth, the Genevan representative who had so arrogantly dismissed the human threat, now sat in stunned silence, his scales visibly paling as the gravity of the situation sank in. The other Council members, once quick to echo his dismissive sentiments, now exchanged uneasy glances, their expressions a mix of concern and uncertainty. "This cannot be," the Thylonian councillor muttered, her delicate features etched with a rare display of worry. How could the humans have developed such devastating weapons? Their technology should not be able to rival our own. Xyloth, mustering what little composure he had left, cleared his throat and spoke, his voice betraying a hint of trepidation. "We must not panic. Surely there is an explanation for this aberration. Perhaps the humans have stumbled upon some ancient forgotten technology, or they have found a way to exploit a weakness in our defenses." The other Council members nodded, their expressions suggesting a desperate need to cling to any semblance of rationality in the face of this startling revelation. "Be that as it may," a Torgoth councillor rumbled, his deep baritone cutting through the tense silence, "the fact remains that the humans have proven themselves a force to be reckoned with. Their weapons have demonstrated the capacity to not only withstand our attacks, but to inflict unacceptable levels of damage upon our forces." The Council members fell silent, their minds racing as they contemplated the implications of this new reality. For centuries, the Galactic Council had maintained a delicate balance of power, with its member species working in tandem to preserve the stability and prosperity of the galaxy. But now, the emergence of the human civilization threatened to upset that carefully constructed equilibrium. Tensions began to rise as the Council members debated the appropriate course of action. Some advocated for an outright military offensive, arguing that the humans needed to be subdued before they could pose a genuine threat to the Council's authority. Others, however, cautioned against such reckless aggression, warning that it could provoke the humans into escalating the conflict, potentially plunging the galaxy into a devastating war. Xyloth, sensing the growing divide within the Council, sought to find a middle ground. "Perhaps," he began, his tone measured and diplomatic, "we should consider extending an olive branch to the humans. If we can establish diplomatic ties and open channels of communication, we may be able to find a way to coexist peacefully, or even integrate them into the Galactic Council as a valued member." The other Council members contemplated Xyloth's suggestion, their expressions torn between the desire to maintain the status quo and the realization that the emergence of the human civilization had irrevocably altered the balance of power in the galaxy. As the council members debated the merits and risks of each proposal, one thing became clear. The Galactic Council could no longer afford to dismiss the humans as a mere curiosity. The time had come to confront this newfound challenge head-on, lest the very foundations of their galactic order be shaken to the core. After much heated debate and deliberation, the Galactic Council reluctantly conceded that the human civilization could no longer be ignored or dismissed as a mere curiosity. The devastating demonstration of their advanced weaponry had shattered the Council's confidence and forced them to reevaluate their approach to this newfound galactic power. Xyloth, the Genevan representative who had once so arrogantly scoffed at the humans' capabilities, now found himself leading the charge in establishing diplomatic ties with the humans. It was a humbling experience for the once proud diplomat, but he recognized that the Council's very survival might hinge on their ability to reach an accord with this formidable adversary. The human government, led by a seasoned and pragmatic president, approached the negotiations with a cautious but determined stance. They had watched the Galactic Council's dismissive attitude towards their species with growing frustration, and now they saw an opportunity to assert their rightful place in the galactic community. "We are willing to engage in diplomatic relations with the Galactic Council," the human president stated, her words firm and unwavering. "But we will not accept terms that compromise our sovereignty or technological advancements. The humans have proven their worth, and we expect to be treated as equals, not as a subservient client race." Xyloth and the other council members exchanged uneasy glances, aware that the humans' demands were not entirely unreasonable. However, the prospect of welcoming a new and potentially disruptive member into the carefully orchestrated balance of power was a daunting one. Tensions ran high as the negotiations progressed, with both sides vying for concessions and the upper hand. The humans insisted on the right to maintain their own military forces and to participate in the Council's decision-making processes, while the Council members fought to preserve their traditional authority and influence. At times, the talks teetered on the brink of collapse, as the two sides clashed over the terms of their potential alliance. The humans refused to back down, their resolve hardened by the knowledge that they possessed weapons capable of decimating the Council's forces. The Council members, meanwhile, struggled to reconcile their pride with the realization that they could no longer afford to dismiss the human civilization. Ultimately, after weeks of arduous negotiations, a compromise was reached. The humans would be granted limited representation within the Galactic Council, with the promise of increased participation as they demonstrated their commitment to the Council's principles of peace and cooperation. In return, the humans agreed to refrain from using their advanced weaponry against the Council's member species, unless provoked. The announcement of the new alliance was met with a mixture of relief and unease throughout the galactic community. While many saw the inclusion of the humans as a positive step towards a more inclusive and stable order, others feared that the balance of power had been irreparably altered, with the potential for future conflicts and power struggles. As the ink dried on the treaties and the first human representatives took their seats within the council chambers, both sides knew that this was only the beginning of a new era, one in which the once overlooked human civilization had firmly established itself as a force to be reckoned with in the vast expanse of the Milky Way. The integration of the human civilization into the Galactic Council was a slow and arduous process, marked by a deep sense of unease and mistrust on both sides. The council members, still reeling from the devastating demonstration of human firepower, were reluctant to fully embrace their new partners, while the humans remained wary of the council's true intentions. Xyloth, the Genevan representative who had spearheaded the negotiations, found himself at the center of this delicate balancing act. His once unwavering confidence had been shaken, and he now approached the council's dealings with the humans with a newfound caution and respect. "We must tread carefully," Xyloth cautioned his fellow council members during one particularly tense meeting. "The humans have proven themselves to be a force to be reckoned with. We cannot afford to antagonize them, lest we risk igniting a conflict that could tear the galaxy apart." The other council members, many of whom had once shared Xyloth's dismissive attitude towards the humans, now listened to his words with a newfound sense of apprehension. The memory of their humiliating defeat on the battlefield was still fresh in their minds, and they knew that underestimating the human civilization's capabilities could have catastrophic consequences. Slowly but surely, a tentative rapport began to develop between the Galactic Council and the human representatives. As the two sides engaged in joint research projects, cultural exchanges, and diplomatic initiatives, a grudging respect began to emerge. The humans, for their part, were impressed by the Council's vast knowledge and experience in navigating the complex geopolitical landscape of the galaxy. They recognized that the Council's established networks and protocols had maintained a delicate balance of power for centuries, and they were eager to learn from these seasoned galactic players. Conversely, the Council members found themselves reevaluating their perceptions of the human civilization. They were intrigued by the humans' innovative approach to problem-solving, their boundless creativity, and their unwavering determination to carve out a place for themselves in the galactic community. As the years passed, the uneasy alliance between the Galactic Council and the humans began to transform into a strategic partnership, one characterized by a growing understanding and mutual respect. The humans were granted increased representation within the Council, their voices heard, and their concerns addressed with a newfound sense of gravity. In turn, the Council sought to tap into the humans' technological prowess, collaborating on groundbreaking research and development projects that pushed the boundaries of what was thought possible. This new era of cooperation was not without its challenges, however. Tensions and misunderstandings still occasionally flared up as the two civilizations navigated the complexities of their relationship. But the shared recognition that they were stronger together and the memory of their near-disastrous confrontation kept both sides committed to making the alliance work. Xyloth, once the embodiment of the Council's arrogance and dismissiveness, now found himself at the forefront of this new era of cooperation. He had become a staunch advocate for the human civilization, using his influence and diplomatic skills to bridge the gap between the two cultures and foster a genuine understanding. As the Galactic Council and the humans continued to work side by side, the balance of power in the galaxy began to shift. The once dominant Council found itself sharing the stage with a new and formidable partner, one that had proven its worth on the battlefield and now sought to carve out its own place in the stars. The inclusion of the human civilization into the Galactic Council marked a pivotal moment in the history of the galaxy. No longer were the humans relegated to the fringes of the galactic community, viewed as a primitive and insignificant species. Instead, they had earned their rightful place as a respected partner, their advanced technology and military capabilities now integrated into the Council's vast network of resources and expertise. Xyloth, the once arrogant Genevan representative, had become a driving force behind this new era of cooperation between the humans and the Council. His initial skepticism had gradually given way to a deep respect and admiration for the humans' ingenuity and resilience. The humans have proven themselves to be a remarkable species, Xyloth remarked during a council session, his tone tinged with a newfound sense of humility. Their willingness to collaborate, their thirst for knowledge, and their sheer determination to carve out a place for themselves in the galaxy have been truly inspiring. The other council members, once quick to dismiss the humans, now nodded in agreement, their expressions a mix of respect and cautious optimism. The once insurmountable divide between the two civilizations had been bridged, paving the way for a future of unprecedented progress and discovery. One of the most tangible benefits of the Human Council Alliance was the rapid advancement in various fields of science and technology. The humans, with their boundless creativity and innovative spirit, were able to contribute groundbreaking solutions to long-standing challenges faced by the Galactic Council. From the development of more efficient and sustainable energy sources to the design of advanced propulsion systems that pushed the boundaries of interstellar travel, the collaboration between the humans and the Council members proved to be a fruitful and mutually beneficial endeavor. Furthermore, the integration of human military capabilities into the Council's defensive networks significantly bolstered the galactic community's ability to respond to emerging threats. The devastating weapons that had once been the source of such fear and trepidation were now seamlessly incorporated into the Council's arsenal, providing an added layer of security and deterrence against potential aggressors. As the years passed, the Galactic Council and the human civilization continued to work hand in hand, their partnership evolving into a strategic alliance that would shape the future of the galaxy. Joint diplomatic initiatives, cultural exchanges, and economic ventures helped to foster a deeper understanding and appreciation between the two civilizations, ultimately leading to a more stable and prosperous galactic community. However, the road to this newfound harmony was not without its challenges. Occasional tensions and misunderstandings still arose as the Council members and the humans navigated the complexities of their relationship. But the shared recognition of their mutual dependence and the desire to avoid the catastrophic consequences of a renewed conflict kept both sides committed to finding amicable solutions. The impact of the human civilization's integration into the Galactic Council was felt far beyond the confines of the Council chambers. The galaxy at large witnessed the transformation of the once dismissed human species into a respected and influential player in the grand scheme of the cosmos. As the Milky Way continued to evolve, the partnership between the Galactic Council and the humans became a beacon of hope, showcasing the transformative power of cooperation, mutual understanding, and the willingness to embrace the diverse strengths of all galactic civilizations. The future, once shrouded in uncertainty, now glimmered with the promise of a more inclusive, prosperous, and secure galaxy. A future where the once overlooked human civilization had firmly established its place among the stars.